Hi, my name's Gerry. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm a twin troller boat owner. I'm a lifelong fisherman. And this is part 2 of a multi-part series about me obtaining a new fish finder for my boat. Part 1 has me unboxing this fish finder. It's a Garmin Echomap UHD ultra high definition 93Sv, and it has the new transducer, which is a GT56. In this video, you will see me install this fish finder on my boat. I first have to remove my old fish finder. I have 2 of them on my boat. I'm removing one of them. Those are both Lowrance. One of them is going to come off. The original one that came with the boat I'm keeping on there, and then I'm going to install this one. This one has all kinds of features. It's also a wider screen. It's touch screen. It has down scan, side scan, clear view. This has literally everything. It even allows you to connect Panoptrix to this, but I'm not going to do that. My boat isn't set up for doing that kind of a advantage, so I'm not going to, at least at this point, do that. Please come with me. We'll take off the old one quickly. We'll put this one back in, and we'll fire it up for the very first time. Come see it. Below this video, click on Show More to see links for many of the items used in most of my videos. They are there so you can locate them in case you are interested. All right, this one is my fish finder that I installed on the twin troller a couple of years ago. It works just fine. It has GPS capability, it stores waypoints, it has an auxiliary map that I bought to give me more detail. It's just too small. So I've decided to replace this. I need to unconnect all the wires that I have lashed to the boat. I have the existing wiring to this fish finder. The transducer runs down the side of the boat, underneath the battery, around to the other side, and I'll show you the transducer we have to replace. So that one's got to come off, and this one's going to be installed. And I always had its own independent battery to run this fish finder, but I didn't want to have my battery that I use for transportation to be used doing other things, which is this fish finder. It already has the factory fish finder that's on the front of the boat connected to it, and I wanted to leave that because it tells me voltage of the battery, gives me some kind of idea of what kind of juice is in there. This is the auxiliary battery. You've probably seen this in previous videos that I've done, and if you haven't seen this and if you're interested, just go back in my videos. You'll see me building this, and this is a waterproof case. I did this just to keep this independent. This is a lithium battery. I eventually had to replace that. I did that in a video also, but this is what the battery comes with. There's a connector for outgoing power, and there is a connector for charging it. It comes with its own little charger. You plug that in, plug it into a wall. Now this Lowrance fish finder came with all of these components that needed to be on this power line. I don't know what this does, but it does something. So I need to remove all of this in order to wire up the new one. So when this came, I originally bought one of these, and I soldered it in so that I could connect to the outgoing side of the battery. And I'm going to take this off, desolder it, and I will put that on the new power cable. This way I can keep all of my wiring inside this box. Now, what do I have to put in there? This is a fuse. I think it's a 3 amp fuse. It already came in there. And then there's a red and a black wire, negative and positive, that go to the battery. These are for if you are connecting to other devices that this Garmin will also operate. I am not doing that, and it tells you that just disregard these wires. Nonetheless, I don't want them out dangling outside, so I want to get it inside this box. So how do I do that though? I originally drilled a hole into this box, and then I put some sealant around it, and then I made all these connections. Well, I'm gonna have to take these and open this up, but in order to get this in there, since this has this fuse holder on it, I can't get it through the box. So what I've decided to do is split the box from top to bottom down to here. That way I can pull this apart a little bit, get this wire out, and then I can put this wire back in its place. And I can always seal around there with some sealant. And inside here will be this fuse like this. It'll be sitting there, and then the battery will be here, and then that connector that I'm going to solder on will be going down the side of the battery so that I can connect the 2 of them together. It will make more sense once you see this. Like I said, I'm going to go fast forward through me removing all of this, but I just wanted you to see what it was that I'm doing.
I'm back to the point where I want to slow down enough to talk with you. If I mount this bracket with the transducer here, it will be too low. It's that much farther lower than my original transducer was. So I need to shorten this stem just a little bit. Now, how much shorter do I want it? Well, let me take this off. Luckily, I never glued these in. I probably am gonna glue these in at this point once I get this done, because this is a heavier transducer and I don't want it to pull out. But I'm gonna use a straight edge across the bottom of the boat, and that will tell me where the bottom is. But first, let me mount this onto here so that I can take this and get it to the right height and then know how much I need to cut off. So let's do that first. You saw me take the screws out of these. These were a little bit smaller thickness of screws. So I'm gonna use something a little bit heavier. I have now got these screws. These are a little box, I don't know what it says, but they're thicker. They're the same length, and you saw me use the wrench before that said 1/4 inch on it, where these are 5/16 heads. So naturally this is a larger screws. So let me at least get these started. Well, I'm gonna flip this around. I'm gonna start new holes right where these slots are, because they're not the same width. Let me get this done off camera and then I will get back with you. I have a marker, and I want this transducer to be just about dead on even with the top part of the transducer. It's nice and smooth on the bottom, so it should pass anything, bump it, but I don't want it to protrude too far down. I just want it even with there. And right about where that bracket is on the side. If you look at the bracket at the top where I have this paint line, just about where I want to cut this, maybe just above the paint line. So I want to cut this just about there. This is a cutters for PVC pipe. Makes a nice clean cut. So this goes like that. Let's see how we did. So I look under here, it just barely hangs down. Now, this is not straight up and down. The way how this is made, this bracket moves. So I left these screws loose enough because I want the side scan to go evenly out. And if I don't adjust this to be that way, then one side will shoot different than the other. This is a torpedo level. Push this all the way down, get it where it belongs. This side is a little high. Let me just adjust this. I can pretty much get it level. I don't know if you can see that. That's exactly level. There we go. My concern that I said before is that this doesn't protrude back far enough, because here, I don't know exactly out of this where the side scan comes, but if it's all the way back to here, it's gonna bump into the side of the twin troller hull. If it does, I'll take this back off, the little stub, and I'll push this out a little. But I'd like to keep pretty much where it is. Now, the boat is not level this way, at least I don't think. The boat is pointed downhill, pretty much the way how this is. So I would say this is kind of level. I need to tighten that screw that holds this in, because I left it loose on purpose. This screw here. There are notches in here, so you need to loosen it enough that you can go up a bump whenever you want to. But I don't know if you can see it. There we go. There we go. Transducer's mounted. Now all I got to do is run my wires underneath and up the side of the boat. All right, I have the transducer mounted, and I have my wire to the transducer that I need to run. I run it up the top here, down the side of this bracket. I come out the bottom, go underneath the battery box. I come to this other side, and then after I come back up, I jump over here, run all the way down the side, attach all these holders back to the transducer cable over here to the unit itself. The cable itself is longer than the length I need to go here. So I coil up the extra and I put it in this little compartment area in front of the motor, down around where the bilge pump is, just to get it out of the way. So let me do that and I'll get back with you when I'm done. I have been working for a while off camera, and you can see right there, fish finder is on its mount. I've got the wiring to the transducer all the way down the side here. goes all the way to the back. And as you can see, it jumps over here, goes over here, and then it goes under the battery. Just so that I could show you this, I removed the motor. And here is all the loose cable coiled together that goes to the transducer. That's where I stored it before. And then it goes back down again underneath the battery. And it comes out on this side of the battery. I have enough loose cable to be able to lift this up, to set this inside the boat. If I wanted to, while I was, say, trailering, I may do that. This is a heavier transducer, I don't know. I'll have to just try it and see. But then all I gotta do is put it down. And it's ready to go. Now, since it's all wired and I have a battery, I want you to be with me to fire it up. Let me move the camera. This is my battery box. I still have to silicone this, but not a big deal. Even when it's put together, this holds this together where I cut it open. That's what it looks like inside. Here's my connector for recharging the battery. There's my connector to the fish finder. Here's my fuse. I will get some spare fuses for this and I will keep them in my red bag, my emergency bag in the back, but this now closes completely. I can close it all the way around. It's almost sealed, but there is a little opening, but it's not a big deal if water was to get in here, but I am going to put some silicone here when I get a chance. Now, I have about 4 feet in this cord altogether. And this cord is more than I need because I'm going to keep the battery right here. So I will probably coil this up in a circle and put a little zip tie on it. Let me show you something on the back though. See this little thing here? You have to put this close to the head of the unit and it blocks some kind of emissions. That would be interference. It goes through this, loops back around again, then goes through it again, and then it snaps shut. It's a little bit heavy. I don't know what's in there, but this is where they want it. And then I have a Velcro strip around here to hold all my wires together and partially support this so it's not pulling on this connector here. And an odd thing is there was a little thing in the package, clamshell type thing, and an O-ring, and I didn't know what it was. That's actually this little ring that goes around here. Like this one came with it on it. This one, you had to actually attach it. It came in 2 pieces. You had to cut it off. They were kind of together, almost like model parts that they're stuck together. And then you cut them loose and they snapped together and it went around here. I've never seen anything like that. All right, let's take this off. I'm going to fire this up for the first time. I just turned the battery on. Loading its maps. I went over to make sure you can see this, and you can. All right. I'm supposed to agree to something. All right. United States, English, store demonstration. Hey, what the heck? We'll just turn it on. You have to chosen configuration unit for the retail. Yeah, all right, in that case, I'm turning it off. Am I sure? No. Okay, power boat. Minimum safe depth for the boat. All right, let's say 3 foot because that's a, okay, shallow water alarm, I'm gonna say no. Vertical clearance, I guess that's overhead. I'm gonna say, I'll say 30 feet. Not that I need that. Collision alarm range, 500 feet. Collision alarm time, 3 minutes. Charts, sonar, frequently used. Combos, gauges. Active captain, customized home. And I'm going to stop there because this is the end of this video, and the next time you're going to get to see this in use. Well, it's getting late in the day, so I guess we're going to say goodbye. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Put any questions you want in the bottom. See you next time. Bye now.